Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm trying something new today. I got the word, as I call it. It's just like something came to my mind as I was driving. And for those who don't know, I have a podcast, the Sherese Nicole Podcast. I released it in 2020. It was my 2020 project, but it became something that I really enjoyed doing. So I have about 20 or so episodes, and so today's video is going to be a video podcast because I was like, I never do this, and it's just so weird because when I'm when I'm doing my podcast, I'm just speaking in the mic, whatever things, so thoughts are flowing, coming to me, and I'm just able to speak from my source, wherever these words come from. And it's just a lot easier now that I'm looking into a camera and talking point and center to the camera. It's kind of weird to me, but we're gonna give it a shot. I think I want to start talking more about just my content creator challenges and struggles that I go through to even bring myself to this place that is able to sit and record a video with messages and then publish it on the internet. There's a lot, oddly, that goes from that first step of thinking the thought, doing the thing, and then publishing it. Thoughts of fear, thoughts of worthiness, thoughts of, is this even a well-crafted project or story, or do I even have anything to say? So yeah, a lot of those challenges, self-esteem sort of issues come up, and then you all of a sudden start to doubt yourself and your craft and what you're building, what you're creating. And the thing is I always say, everyone has a story, everyone has something worth sharing, even if it's already been talked about 1,000 times. The way that you're gonna come and input and add on to that already oversaturated topic or discussion, you're gonna have your own uniqueness to it, you're gonna bring your own perspective to it. But I want to bring it back to when things were just so fun for me to do, because I was just creating. I was mindlessly creating. I was just enjoying it. I was having fun. So bringing it back, what came to mind as I was driving, because now I'm on this journey of creating again, is that, oh my gosh, creating will be so much more fun to me if I detach the feeling, the emotion that I have to the outcome of the journey of the creation. So of course, with creating content, you're creating it for a goal, right? Yes, some people just love to create, but eventually when you see your history, how much content you've built and created online, you're gonna want that to end up leading to something monetary wise, whether it's fame, whether it's building a community, whether it's selling a product, but eventually that's what you're building to, right? And so what I'm trying to say is, for me, creating became less fun. Remember, I used to mindlessly go into it, do it because I just enjoyed creating. I enjoyed storytelling, and I still do. But along the lines of my creation, I became that self-doubting person, that insecure in my head. And it was because I became so fixated on the numbers, the engagement, the reaction of the audience from my creations. And then it became all consuming about what do they want to see, what do they like, what can I do for them, and less about myself. And so my revelation was, in order for me to make creating fun again, I just have to take that feeling of what I want it to be in the end, feeling of I want this to lead to, let's say, 100,000 followers, but my video only got 10 likes. Oh, this is not going to lead to that. Taking that emotion, that fear, or that feeling of failure that I feel, and just show up and continue doing the thing. So me even recording this video now, I'm doing so because I truly enjoy creating, and I truly want this message to go out. It's in my mind, I'm speaking it, and it's out of my body. I want to pass it on to whoever needs to receive this or hear this. So, and then it's like, if this gets like 10 views in like a year, that's fine, because my purpose is to create, just to do. It's not to think of, oh, this is the one that's going to go viral. No, because then that takes away the fun of creating, that makes me get more in my head and things of that nature. So I'm going to take that power back and think about just creating and having fun with it and just doing it and just being and leaving it as that. My first, let's say, 5 episodes of my podcast were just sheer like creativity, like just from thoughts, things that I've written down, things that I've thought of in passing, and then taking like an idea or a subject or a topic and then just like weaving it into this like story where I can share a bit of my experience and relate, or just being very like relatable in that experience and creating it. And then afterwards it was like, okay, well, what is trending? What's viral? What do people want to know about or hear about? But what that does then is it's not pouring into what I care about, which is like creating from source, creating from whatever inspires me, which doesn't always align with an algorithm or what's trending or the latest like sound clip or meme, right? Ways that I can take that power back is by just focusing on the creation itself until I get to the next thing, right? So even as I'm recording this, I'm focused on this one thing now. I'm going to publish it, and then after that, I can just focus on the next thing. I'm not going to continuously keep looking back at this and be like, what's doing it? Like, what's happening now? What's happening now? Like, how many views now? I mean, there's going to be a little bit of me doing that, let's be honest, but it's not going to be so fixated on, oh my gosh, this only had 10 views, it's a failure, let me just stop. No, let me just appreciate that for what it was, 10 views or not, and still be able to work on what's next and create and show up and do the same things. I've talked about this in a previous podcast where don't think, just do. And it's so funny how some of my past episodes and messages that I've given out to the world, I've needed so much for myself. It's kind of like when you read a book, it inspires you, motivates you, but along the journey you kind of forget what you've read in the book. You have to read the book again. You have to continuously read the book. You have to continuously practice what you've read about, what you've heard, what you've learned in order to keep it new. So even for myself, me having to re-listen to my old podcast episodes to be like, oh my God, this came from me, but I forgot it. And I really needed to hear that now. Like, that's how I feel. I had this episode, Don't Think, Just Do. And in it, I'm talking all about how much of a planner I am, how much I'm in my head, and I love to research, and I love to like jot notes, and I love to scope out the entire project. But then what happens is the longer I stay in that planning stage, the less likely I am to actually do whatever it is I'm supposed to do. And so I feel like that's been me for a long time. But again, kudos to me for even making it to this point, because I almost gave up 20 times. I couldn't find my ring light. The tripod was being stupid. I wanted to, add my audio, my mic to this. It wasn't working. So just there were so many things, but I was like, no. I need to show up for myself. I need to just do, and I need to get more familiar with creating, because that's where the fun is. That's where the enjoyment is. And that's it. That is my job. Focus on the execution. That is it. So it's been a very fine balance between planning and doing. I'm still erring more on the side of the planning than the doing, but it's a work in progress. I'm a work in progress, and I appreciate you for being here and listening to me rant and talk about how complex but yet simple this all is. It's very simple what you have to do. You simply just have to show up and create and do the thing that it is that you enjoy doing. It's just we overcomplicate it, we get in our own heads. I think also what we do is we consume more than we create, and that was like one of my other podcast episodes. I think it was called Consumer or Consume Me, but basically what I was trying to say is, are you a consumer of content, or do you let yourself get consumed by it? Saying that out loud now, I'm just like, does that mean the same thing? Okay, but basically what I'm trying to say, is, are you opening up your Instagram or your TikTok and you're just like watching all this content? Or are you letting that content consume you and you're becoming there is no difference. There is like, you're just consumed by it. Speaking from a content creator perspective, that is challenging because you don't want to really be consumed by the content you are consuming, because you sometimes just want to view it for inspiration and things like that. But I find that when you become consumed by it, you become almost like a slave to it, because now it's kind of hard for you to find your uniqueness, your authenticity within all of the sea of other content out there. So it's just like, where do you go from there? And yeah, so it just also reminded me of that, because I found myself, as much as being a planner is cool and all, but on the other end of that, I was consuming so much content that it was hard for me to kind of just remember what I wanted to talk about and what matters to me, instead of framing it in the way somebody else has already, talked about that topic or idea or shared their perspective on it. So it's always helpful to kind of give yourself that pause, that break, with social media and just in general with anything online. Give yourself a digital detox. Which is like another episode that I have coming up that I want to talk about, and just why it's so important to give yourself that break from just anything online, a lot of the screens and stuff, so you can just kind of call from, again, your source or from your authentic self. It's so helpful, especially to build back like creativity and to strengthen those ties and connections with yourself. Yeah, and sometimes that can only be done when you give yourself that break. So I think I talked about like 20 different subject matters, but hopefully they all kind of intertwine with each other and have some relatability to each other. But that was really just on my mind today, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing it today. I'm getting the camera out, I'm getting my lights out, I'm putting my makeup on. I'm gonna record it, and even when I have to edit this, I'm going to be cringing. I'm going to be like, ugh. But we are committing and we are just following through, because I want to get back to when creating was fun without, oh gosh, and like that's a whole nother subject, is like how, just kind of detaching also from how people are going to receive this and like the comments, feedback. Like that is a whole other beast, another topic we can get into later. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this rambling session that I needed to do. It makes me feel a lot better. So, and it's like a nice welcome back to my channel type of video. But yeah, stay tuned for more episodes and keep up with me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, this YouTube channel, and also my website. Also, my email subscribers, subscribe. I will be sending out monthly newsletters, just kind of like a roundup of everything that I'm doing. A way to keep on top of like all the new things, the themes of the month, just what's on my mind. You can stay up to date with that. So I'm gonna put all those links in the description box. Give this video a like if it made sense to you, if you registered with it, if you understand it, if you are someone who is also experiencing this and are a content creator or just like a storyteller and you're just trying to find the fun in that again, just whatever. If you resonate in the least bit, give it a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you're working or what you're going through as well, and we'll discuss. Until next time, bye.